appeal to the Prime Minister of this country from the Swatantra Party, Namaste. Mr. Prime Minister, our External Affairs, Ministry of External Affairs, MEA, has said that the people who spoke against Prophet Muhammad, that is Nupur Sharma and Naveen Kumar Jindal, are fringe elements. You mean to say that they suddenly became fringe elements? You yourself are a follower of Nupur Sharma in the Twitter. Okay, she is an official spokesperson of your party, national spokesperson, including that Naveen Kumar Jindal. They both knew what they were talking. Forever that Nupur Sharma is so arrogant, and she always doesn't give respect to the other panelists. Her body language is so full of arrogance, the way she does all the things, her face, her movements, everything is so full of arrogance. I think this was a right answer or a right hit given by the Western nations. The Middle East countries, Arab nations have rightly opposed. When the Indian opposition and the people from India, the Muslim population, when they were opposing whatever this female was talking, you didn't even bother, your party didn't even bother to take any action. But when the opposition came from the Arab nations, you had to buckle up. See, Mr. Prime Minister, this is not the right attitude. You have the guts to accept, yes, they are my party spokespersons and what they have said is wrong. But don't try to have two faces. Your two faces will get exposed very soon. It's already exposed. First thing is, try to teach some decency to your spokespersons. They are full of arrogance. They are doing what the in the UPA regime, some of the Congress spokespersons were so arrogant. But not like today. They were arrogant in their own way, but today your party spokespersons are the most arrogant people I've come across. Arrogance comes before a downfall. It's not good. We are not permanent on this earth. None of us are permanent. When we are born, there's definitely a death for us. Before that, we can do so many good things for our nation and for the people and for our own well-being, but not looting the nation and putting double standards. You have one thing for yourself, but you advise the others some other thing. Mr. Prime Minister, the economy is in a big mess. I've been telling this for the time you came in 2014. I've written many letters to you regarding the scams in the bank, but you didn't bother. Your party members were part of the scam. Though the loans were sanctioned in the UPA government, your party looked the other way. I have written many letters to you, to your finance minister, then Mr. Jaitley, and also to this great lady called Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman when she was the Minister of State for Corporate Affairs. No response from her. There is never a response from her. I don't know, they're all busy looting the nation, but they pretend to be the most patriotic and the most straightforward politicians. But I don't agree. To their conscience, they all know what corruption they are doing. Recently also, one company, 320 crores of loan was waived off by your finance minister in Kerala. How come? That means if you wish to, you waive off the loan. But here, me being an honest citizen, I was running an industry honestly, but the banks looted me, and then there is no justice still rendered to me. I am running the courts for 12 years. 12 years of my precious life, will you give it back? If the banks are at fault, will you give back the 12 years? Where is the forum for us to get immediate relief? Most of the NPA companies are all being bought by you politicians from the ARCs, from the asset recovery companies. Including Mr. Chidambaram and his family, they are all buying out the properties. And then there is one fellow called Lottery Martin, who buys all the NPA factories and industries, and then he takes it for real estate and he demolishes the entire business. So, where is this heading to? And that Martin's people are giving again donation to your party. His son joined your party. So, where is this thing of calling, I am going to clean the system, Mr. Prime Minister? Are you really serious about it? Or is this one more of your jumlas? Sorry, I'm sorry, Mr. Prime Minister, I have to speak up. My God asked me to speak up. This is not good for the country's economic well-being. The country's economy is in a mess. I've been repeatedly telling you this, but you people just come up with some figures. People don't understand figures. 90% of the population only knows 1 plus 1 is 2. And in 2, if I spend 50 paisa, 2 rupees, if I spend 50 paisa, I have 1 rupee 50 paisa. If with 2 rupees, if I spend 2 rupees 50 paisa, then I am negative 50 paisa. This is what any common man understands. But you people come up with all your microeconomics, macroeconomics, GDP. The common man doesn't understand what is GDP. He understands inflation also as what? As price rise. That the prices of things, commodities are high. Now there is no demand first. You were supposed to create the demand which will never be done by any one of you. The economy is in a mess. People's businesses are in a mess because they don't have proper financial support from the banks. Mr. Prime Minister, don't be busy in your dressing rehearsals. It's not good. When the country is suffering, the people are suffering, you have to be more sensible and more practical. You are not available for us. We cannot meet you. We have to give loads of money to get an appointment with you. But Nirmala Sitharaman has all the time in the world to meet brothel owners, to meet frauds, to meet smugglers. But when we, genuine industrialists who are suffering, if we want to tell you the truth, the real scenario that's happening in the industrial sector, we don't get to meet you. Because you don't want people to be straightforward and you don't want people to tell up on your faces. You want only jalras and jumlas to come and meet you. I, for one, whatever I have said is happening. My words come true. I've been telling for the last 6 years the economy is in a mess. Nobody bothered. I said rainy days are coming, and it has come. COVID has come. Everywhere, people have just taken loans from the bank and they have escaped many of the big corporates, the big looters. But who are the people who are paying up? It's the small people who are paying up and the farmers. The farmers are in a mess again. Mr. Prime Minister, don't shake hands with people who have got blood on their hand. Don't shake your hands with people who are rioters. Don't shake hands with smugglers and crooks. Don't shake your hands with corporate crooks. There are still many people in this country who are good. You don't have the time to meet good, honest people. You have only time for people like Kangana Ranaut, Priyanka Chopra, Akshay Kumar, Adanis and Ambanis. We are not them. We are honest citizens who talk the truth and who want you to open up your eyes. Don't pretend to be sleeping. The economy is crushing, already crushed, and things are in a mess. We need good administrators, good, honest administrators. The bureaucrats, most of them are crooks, and you are putting them on your cabinet as ministers. Many of them were all corrupt. Mr. Prime Minister, my humble appeal to you, as an honest citizen, if you want the real scenario, the economy is in a big mess. Don't try to thump your chest. It's not good for you and for us. Thank you, GITA TV and Swatantra Party subscribers.